everybody. Welcome to Marvel Champions Monthly. We are a fan podcast about the card game Marvel Champions by Fantasy Flight Games. I'm Kennedy Hawk, one of your hosts, and I have two co-hosts with me today. I have Crimson. How's it going, Crimson?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
It's a little warm at your place, I heard.
Yeah, pretty hellacious.
Huh. Yes. Maybe we'll be having an inferno cycle because of all this heat. And we have Amerikano. How's it going there?
It's going really good. You guys just need to suck it up. It's really hot here too.
No, literally,
Just stay inside and play Marvel Champions.
literally, Malboja just stayed because it was so bad. Hey, an Image Comics reference. Yes.
Here they have these things called swamp coolers, and they're just like really inefficient air conditioning units, so it doesn't work very well.
No, I just bought a new AC unit. It's the kind that stands in the room and then has a hose to the thing. It's super expensive, but like way too much for it, but it works.
And it's blasting, as it should be.
Oh yeah.
Blasting on your face. Yeah.
Well, today we're going to do something interesting. We're going to do sort of an audio hero pack buyer's guide. So I thought I would go over the rules of what you've all been commanded to do in the last 30 minutes when I gave you lots of time to do it. And then hopefully listeners will appreciate it. We'll see. So
Before we do that, Kennedy Hawk, I just want to
yeah.
shout out to you and one of the developers, Michael Boggs, the Boggs father, for the wonderful interview you gave. If any of our listeners haven't listened to it yet, go listen to it. Go check it out. Michael Boggs was very gracious in allowing his time to talk about the Galaxy's Most Wanted box, among some other things.
I mean, I didn't really have to do anything. All I did was ask one question, and then I let him talk. That makes it easy. So.
I'm glad that you didn't throw me into the bus and tell him that. Anyway.
Don't worry. He told me that he listened to you, and he's really mad. And there's some bad green cards coming up because of it. Not really, but that maybe. Who knows?
There's a new. He gave a new challenge, so our listeners should go check it out.
Yeah, and as a kind of a follow-up to that box set, I streamed on Twitch. It's also on my YouTube. Me and a real-life friend, we started the campaign, and we were using, like, average characters, or, he was using Wasp, which I would consider a terrible character, and I was using Quicksilver. And we got to the collector, and we got steamrolled. Tried it again, got steamrolled. This week on Thursday when we streamed again, we decided to bring the A team, and we crushed it. And his feeling was very consensus to mine, in the fact that you shouldn't have to bring the best characters in the game to beat the freaking collector on standard.
So who'd you play, Hulk and Hawkeye?
No, we played.
Yes, I love.
He played Hawkeye the first time, or no, he played. He played Hawkeye the first time. Not
Piloter. I'm just kidding.
He's so used to. I'm so used to him playing Wasp, which I think is just a terrible character. But that's for another day. No, he played Hawkeye, and I played Quicksilver, and we just couldn't do it. Then I brought Doctor Strange, and he brought Captain America, and it was steamrolled.
Easy peasy, right?
Yeah, it was like nothing.
All right, let's talk about heroes.
Yeah, maybe we'll talk about those heroes today. So what we're going to do is we're going to assume that people have the Marvel Champions core set. That might be a bad assumption, but if you're listening to our show, you probably have it. I'm gonna gander. And you've probably picked up one of the campaign boxes, because everybody's got these buyer guides out there, and they say, get the campaign box, the value is insane. And they're right. Getting 2 heroes in 5 scenarios for the cost of basically 2 heroes is pretty bonkers. So you should go get a campaign box immediately after getting the core set. But if you want to build your deck further...
It should be the Rise of Red Skull.
Yeah, I was about to say,
in it.
You should get the Rise of Red Skull and just skip the other one.
Come on.
No, because Hawkeye's
I like
in it.
Trang. You should get a box that has maybe Hawkeye in it, or another box if you really like Pain. And Then, if you want to keep building bigger decks or using different aspect cards or different heroes, you're going to have to pick up a hero pack. And there's 12 hero packs out there so far, ranging from Captain America all the way through Gamora. So we've had 12 hero pack releases. Each one comes with a pre-constructed deck and some extra aspect cards for other heroes to mix in. And they all release pretty well. They come with the Nemesis set and all that stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through each pack in release order. Each of us is going to pick our favorite card from that pack and say a couple sentences or talk about that card and why we think it's great. We have not shared our cards ahead of time, so we might all say the same card that is likely on a couple of these packs. And then for each pack, we're each going to give it a rating. We're going to say, pick it up. This is a must-buy. If you're going to go expand your collection with a hero pack, this is one to get. We're going to say pass on it. Maybe this is one that you wait until you have infinite amounts of money to go buy this, or you pick it up when you're like fleshing out your collection completely. So these are the ones that we would tell you to pass on. And then there'll be ones that we say push. So this is, pick it up if it's like a character that interests you, or if you really like a specific aspect, but consider the pick it up packs first. So there's 12 heroes. We're each going to put 4 in each category. And I was just making my list, and it's really hard because the first thing I did is I made my list, and then I looked at it, and I had like buy next to 10 of the 12 heroes. So,
yeah.
So sorry, Scarlet Witch, you are no longer a buy, but I had you as that originally. Spoilers. But we'll get underway and see how it goes.
Let's be honest. Like realistically, you should just buy them all because of the fact that we don't know what aspect an individual person is playing, and something that's not on our buy list may have an incredible aspect card, but the rest of the pack is just not worth it if you're crunched for money or you don't want to buy everything. But in the reality, you should just pick up everything.
Yep, buy everything. And buy 3 copies of Galaxy's Most Wanted, right?
Yeah, so we put these fake constraints on us that if you could only buy 4 packs, we each chose 4, right?
Yeah, or if you're starting your collection out, right, you're gonna buy them all eventually. But which 4 should you get to like get the most bang for your buck, the most excitement, right?
That's how I did it too. Like
that's fair.
My buys are the 4 that I would buy first. My mediums are literally what I would want to expand my understanding and knowledge of the game. So like maybe 2 of them aren't my personal favorite heroes, but their mechanics are so unique or different that I felt that they were a great way to expand into a different way of playing or a different mindset of the game.
Totally.
Okay.
All right. Well, the first pack is Captain America. So, Amerikano, what is your favorite card from Captain America?
Honorary Avenger.
Whoa, I should have said that.
I mean, everyone already knows how I feel about leadership. It just doesn't do it for me. He's got a lot. I mean, he's a good hero, right? His 15 card kit's really good, but in the whole pack, definitely, I think Honorary Avenger. It's just such a good card. It really is.
What does Honorary Avenger do? Can you?
It's a 0-cost upgrade. You can play it only if your identity has the Avenger trait, and you attach it to a friendly character, and then the attached character gets +1 hit point and gains the Avenger trait.
Nice.
So it's just an extra hit point. It thins your deck. It's a basic card, so it can go in any deck, and obviously you can only play it if your identity has the Avenger trait. But the first 2 sort of waves, there's a lot of Avenger traded heroes, so easy to get out on the table.
Just for fairness, in our RG 1.4, you can only play 1 of these per character now. So you used to be able to like dump all of them on your identity, which is basically just a gain 1 hit point for free kind of card. But it has since become a little bit worse.
I was going to mention that too.
Nice. What did you have, Crimson, from Steve Rogers?
I also had honor, so I'm going to choose a different, and I'm going to choose Squirrel Girl. I think she's just too darn good.
She is really good. It's true.
Yep. And there's 2 allies that I really like in this set, and they're both cheap, but Squirrel Girl just wins it out for me.
Well, in my little spreadsheet here, I have Honorary Avenger, and I deleted it, and then I wrote Squirrel Girl. So Squirrel Girl's a 2-cost ally that when she comes into play, damages every enemy for 1, so she's great for Ultron drones and picking tough off people. Black Panther had like really good ways to do that, and Iron Man in the core set, and Squirrel Girl gives every hero access to that, which is really, really good. So what I'm going to say instead, because we're changing if we get doubled up, and I guess I won't go last next time, so I don't have to feel so bad. I'm going to say Fearless Determination. So Captain America himself is a 2/2/2 stat line, and Fearless Determination gives him +1 thwart and then draws you a card, and it costs 0. So it makes him a 3, and since he can thwart twice, it makes him a 6, basically. So 6 thwart for 0 cost, or for 0 cost plus discarding 1, feels really good.
Yeah, those cantrips,
really cool art.
Cantrip cards are amazing. That just give you a card back.
Yeah, I like anything that costs 0 and then replaces itself, or stays on the board, like Honorary Avenger.
So we can choose their kit cards. Okay, I didn't realize
anything
that.
from the pack. You could choose their nemesis if you want. I almost did that for one of them.
Well, as a honorable mention, I think Wonder Man is also extremely good because of the tricks you can do with tapping him to. Like there's a lot of leadership cards that say tap a character to add its attack to something else. So he's also a good runner-up.
All right. So what's everybody's rating? Amerikano. Do you think people should pick this back up?
I put him in the middle.
You put him in the push, huh?
Okay. I put him in the push. Obviously, he's a really, really good hero. Overall, he's a 2/2/2 stat line. He's got. He's just gonna. He's just really good. I like that he can ready. But I chose a different hero that's a leadership hero. So in the pick it up. So I put him right in the middle. I think you can't go wrong with picking up Captain America. Addercop's not here.
So
to tell me otherwise.
Amerikano is 100% wrong here. This is a 100% must buy. This character is broken, strong, overpowered, unbelievably powerful. He's S tier. He's the second best character in the game, hands down. He's a buy. This is a buy all day long. Buy this guy.
I also had him under buy because I think that he's a really good hero and he's well-rounded. So there's another hero we'll talk about later that has this gimmick of readying, but he takes a lot more setup. In Captain America, you can just hit the ground running. You just draw your hand and good things happen. And that's the kind of hero you want a new player to experience early on when they're still learning the game. They can struggle playing with Wasp and Rocket and other people later. But Captain America is someone you want right away. He's got a large amount of reprints in his deck still, unfortunately, but most of his reprints are really useful, right? No one's going to mind an extra Hawkeye. No one's going to mind an extra Make the Call. Those are really good cards. The only downfall for me in his pack is his out-of-aspect cards. I really only use the Justice one. I don't use Enraged or Expert Defense. Right? Followed's pretty good. But I had Captain America under buy. Buy. Agreed.
Sorry, I was channeling my inner Atticop for you there, Amerikano.
Hey, it's all right. You can be wrong. I'm just kidding.
2-1. I think obviously we know who's right. Okay. Next pack, a pack we all love to talk about, Miss Marvel. We'll have Crimson go first, and we'll rotate. What's your card for Miss Marvel?
The
hero, right?
Do you even know any of the cards in Miss Marvel?
Okay. Actually, hang on. So there is actually some good cards in Miss Marvel. Melee is good, but I went with Morale, another leadership card. Weird. Morale for one reason, because there's another hero that I think Morale just worked so well with that I would say it's a very good morale boost. By the way, it's a 1-cost event. Choose a hero until end of the round. The hero gets +1/+1/+1. So that's the card I'm going with. But Yeah, it's Miss Marvel.
Yeah, I went with I cheated. I went with downtime and endurance, so that this pack's good when I'm picking the basic cards from the back of the pack. But both those cards are really good, right? Endurance is a 1-cost upgrade that gives you 3 extra health. You can play it on any character or any hero. Downtime is a 1-cost upgrade that gives you +2 recover. So all those heroes that only recover for 3, this makes them recover for 5. So it's like half their health, and they're really good at thinning decks, and they're pretty essential. Like I make very few decks where I don't include one of those two. So
Endurance is a card I put in almost every deck, and it was my runner-up.
what do you got,
All right.
Amerikano?
All right, I chose my favorite card from this pack is Energy Barrier.
Good card.
That
Good
yeah,
card here. Yeah.
well, it changed. For me. It was like, I mean, I love Iron Man protection, so I love that card in that deck. So I think it's an amazing card. Obviously, Lockjaw was another close one. I have a lot of fun with Lockjaw, but
You emailed us back when we didn't have a protection host, telling us how good Energy Barrier was. That was your recruitment into the show. Do you remember that?
I do, and so I felt like I had to choose Energy Barrier.
Okay, good. I was going to hold you to that. I had that written down as a question for you. So, all right. So let's do our pick it up, push it, or pass on it. What do you got, Crimson? Miss Marvel.
This is going to come as no surprise to anybody who listens to us. This is a pass. It's just not worth it. Like if I had to, if there weren't aspect cards in here that's worth getting, I myself might not want to buy this.
I shockingly, disgustingly said that this is a buy. I know we're like 2 packs in, and I've said 2 buys already. But if you're expanding your collection, you want some protection cards, right? You don't want to just ignore protection. The protection card that came with Captain America that I said to buy was trash. So you got to have something to add to protection characters. And all the protection cards in this set are really good, right? Energy Barrier is great. Tackle is really, really strong, pushing damage and putting out status conditions. Preemptive Strike just got a huge boost with the last RRG, so it's like a great card. Nova's great, so there's all those great cards. And you get downtime.
And let's be real, Get Behind Me is good for a solo protection player.
Yeah, Get Behind Me is good. It's in the core set, right? So it's like, do you need 2 more Get Behind Me's? Maybe not.
I guess that's right. It is in the core set.
But getting endurance, getting downtime, concussive blow, and melee, like every card other than the Miss Marvel cards in this pack is really good. And the Miss Marvel cards are good for some people too, just not for me. So I prefer Gamora as my like event style hero. But I think the aspect cards and basic cards that come with Miss Marvel make her pretty essential for your collection. So I say buy.
Oh, after talking about all those cards, I regret this, but I also said pass because I just never play with Miss Marvel. And I mean, I play with Energy Barrier all the time, so I guess I should have not said pass. But anyway, putting these constraints on me, I chose pass.
Yeah, what we're gonna do later is we're gonna stream a game, and you can't use any cards from your passes, and you have to make a deck in protection. Good luck. No, I'm just
I
kidding.
can definitely do that.
Okay. All right, what's the next pack? Thor. Let me find my Thor card here. For Thor, I said Mean Swing. So Mean Swing is a 0-cost event. When you make a basic attack, you exhaust a weapon to add 3 to that basic attack. It's great with Black Panther. It's obviously great with Thor and people that have weapons within their kit, including some upcoming heroes that we've seen on FFG spoiler articles. So I find that to be a really fun card. Normally, I'm not really big on events because I hate having to draw things at the right time. But that's an event that, like, when it comes into your hand, it changes how I want to play, so that I always make sure that I get the most out of it. So I like Mean Swing. Amerikano, what do you got?
That was my runner-up, but I chose Lightning Strike. Actually, I really like this AOE card. I'm usually, when I'm playing with Thor, have a lot of energy or lightning resources in it. Anyway, it's a 1-cost event from his kit with a hero action, and it's a superpower, which is cool. Hero action, spend X energy resources, and then you deal X damage to the villain and each minion engaged with you. And it ignores tough status cards if you have the aerial trait, which you're going to most of the time if you, unless you're playing with against the Collector or Ultron and Mjolnir gets taken from you for some reason.
Nice. And Crimson, what card did you pick from the Thor pack?
I chose Under Surveillance. This is a card that I usually put a 1 of in almost every Justice deck I use. And it has saved me on multiple occasions. At first glance, you're like, oh, it's just a 4 Justice. You pay 2, you remove 4 threat, sort of. But because it changes that threshold, there's more than once where it's got into that threshold, and I've been able to ping it down, and it gave me more time than a 4 Justice would by itself. So,
and you play a lot of solo, right?
Yeah, I play a lot of solo and I play a lot of Justice. So this is a card that I use a lot. So I wanted to give it some love.
It's a 2-cost upgrade, a Justice upgrade. You attach it to the main scheme, and you can only have 1 of them. And then you increase the target threat value of the attached scheme by 4, so it doesn't scale per player. So the value, I think, is a lot better for a solo player.
Yeah, the value is in that 1 or maybe 2 player. In a 3-player game, it's just not there.
You've been playing too much Ronin, and you almost said the main scream, and I was thinking the exact same thing. All right, so I have this as a push. I think that Thor's pack is really good. It's pretty succinct, and it has like tools for him within it. But I don't think that. Aggression needs cards, but this was not the sort of aggressive hero that I picked. Also, aggression is in both of the boxes, so if you are picking up a campaign box, you're going to get some aggression cards there too.
Yeah, I said push as well for Thor. I think he's one of those. This is one of those packs that Thor's fun to play, and I think that some of the cards that you get later on have helped him even more. So I wouldn't go and rush and buy him immediately if you have the core set, but definitely later on.
All right, what you got, Crimson?
I'm going to pass on Thor.
Pass. So 2 passes from Crimson in the first 3 packs.
I don't think Thor's a bad character. I just think there's better characters to play with. Now, granted, you are losing Mean Swing, which I think is incredibly strong. You're losing a weapon and Hall of Heroes, which is one of the best websites on the planet. So I really want to make sure. Yeah, sorry. I got to shout them out, right?
Not that we're all using it right now to look.
Yeah, exactly. But
thanks.
Yeah, to me, the hero. I'm judging these packs mainly on their hero first, and then the other cards as a secondary. And the hero just doesn't stand up for me. I love Thor. I just don't think he's a very strong hero.
That's a good point. What are you judging these on, Amerikano?
Mostly that, because when I think of the first thing I ask my wife if we're gonna play is, who do you want to play? She doesn't care what aspect she plays. She focuses on what hero she wants to play, and it's the same thing when I'm introducing this to friends. It's like they have a preference of who they want to play when I list out the heroes. They don't really care what aspect they're gonna play. So, I'm putting the decks together for them anyway. So they just, it's just, so yeah.
I did the opposite. So I said, if you have a core set and 1 campaign box, what 4 heroes make your collection pretty complete, where like all the heroes you have can play with all the aspects. Which maybe was an unfair restriction to put on myself, but I did it. So moving on.
That's all right.
Black Widow, Amerikano, you're first this time.
Let me see here. I chose. Oh, I'm gonna throw up. I chose counterintelligence. There's some. I think it's a 2-cost upgrade. Preparation. card. Interrupt when any amount of threat would be placed on the main scheme. Discard counterintelligence and prevent 3 of that threat. I think it's a really good card. It's easy to get into your hand. You can run 3 copies of it if you really want, and Agent Coulson that can go fish it for you. And so you're going to see it frequently, and you're going to be able to rely on it. So if I had to choose a Justice card. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, Crimson, what was your card?
So, since we're not doubling up on cards, you Justice Thief, I'm going to go with. This is a tough one. Like, part of me wants to say Quinn Carrier since I use it in everything, but I am actually going to say Spycraft. I really like Spycraft. It gives Justice something that Justice doesn't normally have, which is a counterspell in some ways. Now, granted, it's more like a memory lapse because you still have to draw another bad card, but there's only one Shadows of the Past in there, and if you're playing a spy character, or if you have a spy character in play, or you have a Coulson who's a spy by himself and can fetch Spycraft, I think this is just a great oh crap button card.
I went with Quake. Quake's a 2-cost ally. She's got a bunch of stats, but you can ignore them because what she does is when a minion schemes, you can exhaust her to deal 2 damage to the minion. And I love that. I mean, the funnest thing in this game is to flip back and forth to alter ego and then to hero. It's why I really love the Red Skull campaign, because you get a lot of leeway to be able to do that, and Quake just makes it more efficient. So cheap 2-cost ally, can't go wrong.
All right. I put Black Widow in the pass. And
whoa, okay.
I know.
Wow.
I know. And the reason is she is a very, in my opinion, maybe the most unique playstyle of the character so far. It's a very different way of playing the game. I enjoy playing Black Widow, but because a lot of your turn is happening on the villain phase, with her signature cards, I think that not that it's too difficult for people to play. But again, I'm thinking if you only have 4, for example, to buy right after the core set, I would say not Black Widow. I was surprised by my choice.
What'd you say, Crimson?
Okay, so now I love Black Widow. Don't get me wrong. I think she's an A-tier character. She's one of my favorite characters to play. I put her in the push because her playstyle is different. I feel like once you get your core set, I'm not talking about the core box, but your 4 must-buys, she expands the way you play the game. And she is rather unique in the way that she plays the game. So I felt very good about putting her in the push category. She is a great character that will play differently than your base kind of characters.
Well, I'm going to use my 3rd buy already, like a chump. I put her under buy because, again, just like Ms. Marvel, like every card in her pack outside of Black Widow's kit is like solid. Agent Coulson, Quake, Stealth Strike. I mean, there's a
Rapid
couple
response.
crummy supports. Yeah, like the out of aspect cards, rapid response, defensive stance, and counterattack are like super fun cards for the other aspects. And like Crimson said, she plays completely differently. So even if you've played those other heroes 100 times, you buy Black Widow and the game's just like flipped on its head. So I love that about the Black Widow pack. It comes with some staples, like you said, Quinn Carrier, Target Acquired, stuff like that. It's unfortunately got some of like the lamest reprints we're going to get. We already got 4 Nick Furies in the core set. Nobody wants any more surveillance teams or interrogation rooms ever. But her kit's really good, and all the cards she comes with outside of her reprints are like quality A-tier cards. So I picked Black Widow. And I was shocked when I got to this point because I have already used 3 of my buys, and my favorite cycle of packs is the Ant-Man through Scarlet Witch stuff. So I didn't know I have to make some hard choices coming up.
I still
Right.
still have all 4 of my pick it up. So for those keeping track at home.
Now we move on to a hero that needs no introduction.
Hulk? Oh, Doctor Strange. Why don't you take us away, Crimson? What's your Doctor Strange card?
Okay, so I'm gonna. I can't. There's too many good cards in this thing. Yes, the Winds of Wotam is by far the most broken card in the entire game. But
I thought he was going to say Night Nurse. That's what I was for sure.
Night Nurse is my number one aspect card in this set. Night Nurse is too broken. She allows you to do things that you shouldn't be able to do by removing those status tokens. And she is an amazing card. Night Nurse is worth the pack by itself. I would spend $15 for a Night Nurse. That's how good that one card is.
I have a copy if you want it.
I can only use one, sorry.
And who would build 2 green decks? Disgusting.
Yeah.
Oh, so gross.
I said 7 Rings of Ragador because that card is insane in multiplayer. Give 3 characters a tough status card. You basically, in 3-player, just eliminate the villain's turn and laugh for 1 cost. Yeah. I mean, Doctor Strange is just insano. The cards he comes with are really good too. So
I had to not choose an invocation card because I would just choose all of them. But I chose Iron Fist. I tried to not choose I tried not to choose all the protection cards, honestly, but I think he's the best protection ally in the game.
Hands down.
That's it. That's all.
I mean, there's insane cards in here, like Skilled Strike is I don't even like aggro.
Momentum Shift.
Yeah, Momentum Shift. The Sorcerer Supreme.
That Momentum Shift may be one of my favorite protection cards, by the way.
We now have 2 Mystic characters, so Sorcerer Supreme is really good, and we're gonna get more. Just this whole pack is just bananas.
Yeah.
Except for the Med Team reprints.
Even that, I don't mind Med Team. I like Med Team.
I wish they were energy barriers.
Do you make 2 protection decks?
Well, I don't know if I make any protection decks, but
I walked into that one.
If I do, I include Med Team for sure. I mean, I make a protection deck for someone else to play to heal all my allies, and they have a lot of Med Teams in there. No, I agree. I mean, I said push on this pack, but looking at it and my justification for Black Widow and Miss Marvel, I'm obviously an idiot because every single card in here is good. Like Clea, Iron Fist, Momentum Shift, Night Nurse, Unflappable, all the invocations, all the out of aspect cards are cards I play all the time. So what am I doing? Why did I say push? I guess I had to because I ran out of buys. But push.
I think it's no surprise what I'm going to say here. This is going to be
This
is going to be my second buy. He's also my number 1 character in the game. I think he is incredibly strong, and both of my buys have cards that untap their heroes. I wonder what my third buy will be.
I said pick it up as well. This is my first one. This is my wife's favorite hero to play. I think that throwing in the having the invocation deck for a player after having the core set and maybe another box, it does shake it up a little bit enough with that invocation deck, but it gives you. I mean, it's just really powerful. That it's just a lot of fun to play. His deck's a lot of fun to play.
Keeping track of these as we go along, and I'm giving all the buys 2 points, all the pushes 1 point, and the passes 0s. And so far, Cap and Doctor Strange are tied at 5. So,
okay,
Miss Marvel, as expected, is down there at 2. So, all right.
This next one we got. The next one is Hulk.
Hulk. Oh, let's do it. Then we're half done.
All right. I'll go first. I chose I will leave Beat Cop for Crimson. I chose Toe to Toe. I think this card is really fun. I've read a lot of people that don't like it. I think it's like a trap card. I think Toe to Toe is an amazingly fun card. I love it the most in Spider-Man aggression, but or if you have a friend that's playing protection, or Doctor Strange that can just throw a status token on you.
Toe to Toe is a 1-cost aggression event that is an attack. It's the villain attacks you, then deal 5 damage. Or is it an enemy attacks you and then deal 5 damage to that enemy?
Yes,
right? You can do
an
it with
enemy.
minions too, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Cool.
It's a very efficient card if you have if you can get tough. You're not, of course, you're not playing or choosing the target to be a character that's piercing, right? That's the keyword, right? That
Yeah.
discards a yeah. Okay.
All right. What do you got, Crimson?
Okay, surprisingly, I'm not going to choose B-Cop. I think B-Cop's an incredibly strong card. But I'm going to choose Resourceful. I think Resourceful is hands down one of the strongest cards in the game. It allows you to... It's that whole banking. I'm going to bank cards on this turn to have more cards later. And in essence, that's what this kind of does. So I'm going to use... 2 cards out of my hand because you're using the Resourceful to put it in play and the 1 cost. But it's going to allow you to save a card later on a later turn. I think Resourceful is very good. There are incredibly good cards in this pack, but Resourceful is my pick.
And what a well-named card. Like, you're full of resources or you're very resourceful by saving. It's just really good. I had Brawn. I think Brawn is something that aggression really needed. Some threat control on an ally that's got a ton of health, so he can take 1 block for you if you need it. So Brawn's a 3-cost ally with 5 health. Whenever he attacks, you remove 1 threat from the scheme, and he's a 1/1. So I had Brawn. All right, what do you got? Pass, push, pull.
So
This is where. Oh, go ahead, Crimson.
So yes, there's a lot of good cards in this. She-Hulk is amazing. I think with this pack and the way Hulk plays, I like Hulk. I think he's one of my go-to characters. I put him in the push column. I don't think he's a bad character to play. He is different, and because of the way I was running my push column, different works in push. He plays differently than you're used to. He makes you think differently when playing him, and that makes him a good character to pick up. Maybe not in your first 4, but definitely one you are gonna want to get, especially with all the other cards in this pack like She-Hulk and Toe to Toe. Even in the leadership out of aspect leadership card is one of the best leadership cards in the game too.
I had him as pass. I felt really bad because I really like Hulk, but somebody's got to go in the pass bucket, and he was the pass for me. I think a lot of people get frustrated with him, and it's very easy to get frustrated with him. I enjoy him, but I still had him not on the top of my buyers list.
Oh, you put him in the pass and Miss Marvel in the buy?
Yeah, so if
I mean, protection needs help, let's be honest.
Yeah.
So if you've been listening to us, you know that we're all really big fans of Hulk. I'm saying this because I put him in the pass as well. And I think for me, I think he's the only hero that has what I call a disability, where you have to discard your hand at the end of your turn. And I know that that's not a huge deal for a lot of players because they're being efficient or spending their cards, their hand. But I think that can be a turnoff for a lot of people.
Or a great training tool for a lot of people.
And I think with the 0 thwart, I know that he can deal a ton of damage, but with the 0 thwart, I think that's something. Again, I love playing Hulk. We are probably the biggest proponents of Hulk on this podcast, but I guess not. If we put him in the pass category, Kennedy.
You guys aren't. I guess
Lowest
I am.
score of all the heroes so far, 1 for Hulk. Well, let's
And
move
you-
on to the second half. We got to get through. Crimson's gonna die of the heat over there. So
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man, I had Moment of Triumph. It is a 0-cost event when you defeat like a. I should just read what the actual card says instead of trying to do it from memory. Let's not be dumb. Being dumb is bad. Moment of Triumph. Hero response. After you attack and defeat an enemy, heal 1 damage from your hero for each point of excess damage dealt to that enemy by that attack. So this is great for aggression. Like all my super cards are aggression, but I think this card is just really, really good. Even if you only heal 2 for this is like more efficient than first aid or most of the sources of healing in the game. So a lot of people try to get like really big swingy heals for it, but it lets you stay in hero form. It's just all around goodness.
It's a great card. Aggression. Great card. Mine was, believe it or not, Call for Aid. This is 0-cost event. Hero action, discard cards from the top of your deck until you discard an Avenger ally, and then add that ally to your hand. The reason is because I've had a lot of fun with Spider-Woman and the Captain Marvel like Call for Aid deck.
Get out of
She's
here.
the
That
only.
deck's gross.
That's an amazing deck, but I don't play a leadership that often. I don't know. I think it's a fun card. There's a risk potentially with discarding cards from your deck, and I like that. But I think it's a really fun thematic card. Maybe not the most efficient or best card in the game, but it's still a lot of fun to play.
What do you got, Crimson?
I had Stinger. I like him. I like cheap allies. I like the fact that I could pay 1, I could do a damage or throw art, and then soak an attack. It also doesn't count against my my ally limit, so I'm a fan of Stinger.
Nice. I had Ant-Man. This is really painful as a push. He's one of my favorite packs, but I had to push him because there's somebody else I want to save my buy for.
Okay, I put Ant-Man in the pick it up. I think it's fun to have the 3 forms. I think that I love the Army of Ants. I think for me the theme of this hero is spot on. And I've had so much fun playing Ant-Man, regardless of aspect. That definitely a pick it up for me.
So for those keeping track, I still have 2 buys, 2 pushes, and 2 passes. And I'm going to put Ant-Man in my push column. So I only got 1 push left. The reason why is because that 3 hero form is unique. It's interesting. It plays differently than the base game. I think it's a great mechanic to try out and enjoy. And I think Ant-Man is the pinnacle of that 3 form hero.
We know how you feel about Wasp.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
So he's a push. He's somebody you want to work towards and play once you have some games under your belt.
All right. Well, why don't you kick us off with Wasp since you have such high hopes for her?
Are you talking to me?
Oh, Crimson. Yeah. What's your card?
Okay.
Wasp?
It's Wasp. I don't have a credit.
There's great colors.
I do.
They're
gosh, this is hard because there's 2 that I really, really like.
I'll pick the other one. It's okay. I know what you're thinking of. So.
I'll take Ironheart then.
Okay, good.
I like Ironheart. She's a 2-cost ally, 2 health, 1/1. I do like my cheap allies, and then when she comes into play, you draw a card. Wonderful little ally, great for doing a damage or a thwart, and then blocking an attack and getting an extra card. She replaces herself. I think she's really wonderful and very good.
She's an every deck kind of card.
Yeah. She replaced Mockingbird in almost all my decks.
Well, what did you have, Amerikano?
Ironheart, but I won't choose Spider-Man because I think you're gonna choose him. I actually, the power in all of us. This is the first. This is the only deck that we get it right.
Yep.
It's the resource card. It gives you a wild, and if you play use it for a basic, it gives you 2. So, I'm really happy that they did that. I was surprised it took as long as it did, but I'm not upset about it, because we got it.
A great card. That was actually the card I did have, so I will say Spider-Man Miles Morales. He's just the basic allies that come with Wasp make the pack almost worth putting on the buy list. Almost worth, not quite. But Spider-Man is a 3-cost basic ally, 1 thwart, 2 attack with 3 health, but don't be fooled. After you play Spider-Man from hand, choose thwart or attack. Spider-Man gets +2 to that stat until the end of the phase. So you can make him a 3 thwart or a 4 attack the turn he comes in, which is just a burst of whatever you need, right? Versatile heroes are good, so are versatile basic allies that go in every deck I build.
And these 2 allies are going in every deck you build.
Pretty much. Unless it's like an Avengers Assemble spam Avengers deck or something. I don't know.
Yeah, because they are not Avengers; they are champions.
All right, Crimson.
Oh, throw this
push,
crap in the
pass.
garbage.
Pass for Crimson.
Don't even look at this one.
Are we gonna sub-score Hulk? I also had pass because I'm out of other options basically, but pass.
No, we're gonna tie with Hulk because I put her in the push. I like Wasp's kit. I think that the entire pack. I enjoy playing Ant-Man more, so that's why I put him in the pick it up. And her in the push. But those basic cards are so good. Like I just get it eventually.
You're saying
soon.
You'd rather have Ironheart in your deck than Endurance? Is that what you're telling me? Saying that out loud makes me think I need to go change and edit what I said earlier, but I can't. So it's too late.
It's already in stone.
It's already live streamed or something. Not really, maybe. All right, next, Pietro, Quicksilver. I had Speed Cyclone. This is like one of the first times I picked a hero card almost. I think Speed Cyclone is just one of the coolest cards in Marvel Champions, but also in this pack. Cost X, hero action, stun X enemies. So this is like amazing in the collector I found recently because you can get all those minions out there and then you can just stun them all so you ignore them for an extra turn. And then your team can wail on the collector. So I love Speed Cyclone. Really cool.
Okay. Do you know what mine is? There's a lot of protection cards to choose from. I chose
Not a bad protection card. I'm just kidding.
Whoa, sidestep. I think doesn't sidestep get a well? No, it's a defense card, so you can use it to trigger the attack, right, or to trigger the defense. That was the new ruling. So I think this card's a lot of fun. I overlooked it at first, but I think it's a really fun card. It's a 1-cost event, protection card, hero interrupt defense with a defense trait. When you would take any amount of damage, prevent 3 of that damage. If you paid for this card using an energy resource, deal 1 damage to an enemy. So it doesn't have to be the attacking enemy, which is pretty fun. You can, sidestep the villain and then ping a tough off of one. I don't know, a guard minion if you're playing against Claw, right?
Go Ultron drone. That's pretty cool. I never read it that way. The reason I dislike that card is I never have energy resources when I want to play it, and even though the effect is just 1 damage, I always feel so bad that I just get mad at it. I'm just like, never again. Never playing you again. Sidestep. Ugh.
Oh, but if you take you prevent 3 of the damage that you would normally take. And remember, health is a resource in this game.
Yeah, and I really like sidestep too. It was in my top.
Which one is yours, though? If you had to choose one.
So we said sidestep. Did we say any other ones?
Speed Cyclone.
Okay.
He's like, I don't even know what that card is.
That card
Who said that?
Yuck.
card's crap.
Let me know next time you beat the collector, and we'll see if Speed Cyclone's still crap or not.
Never back down. I love this card. This card's quite nice. It's cheap. Gives you +2 on your defense, and then you can stun the enemy. It's great. I really like it. It's very nice in protection because you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna tap to block for you. Oh look, I took no damage. He's stunned. Now he's going to attack me. The stun's going to drop off, and so it's almost like I prevented 2 attacks.
And it's one of those rare instances where the art is like perfect for what the card does.
It really is, yeah.
I think that should get some bonus points. All
One
right.
of the few instances.
I mean, there's some art that doesn't match the card.
I mean,
like a lot of
armored
aspect cards, I feel, are just like superheroes doing superhero-y things. They're not necessarily like uppercut is the person uppercutting. It'd be kind of embarrassing if it wasn't. But
I mean, armored vest is pretty on point. So,
but let's be honest, the real MVP of this pack is always B Run.
It's true. How could you not say that card? Bad Crimson.
Because I'm not saying the 15 cards.
Oh, you're not going into the hero cards. Gotcha.
No.
Otherwise, you would have said Speed Cyclone.
No.
Well, even though I love Speed Cyclone, I had to pass on Quicksilver. I think you've already got a readying hero, and you've already got a protection hero. And at that point, I mean, he adds some like cool one-turn kill deck scenarios to you, but he doesn't add anything to that baseline that you really need, in my opinion. Play me.
I put him in push
We're gonna fight.
because I think he's a really fun hero. I think Cap is, if you're talking the readying hero, Cap's better, but he's got some really good protection cards in multiple man, never back down, sidestep. So I think it's definitely worth picking up after the next 4 you get.
For me, he is a must-buy. He is one of my 4 must-buys. Also a readying healer. All 3 of my must-buys have heroes that can ready. So we know what kind of playstyle I like. And I've had so much fun with Quicksilver. I think he is just an incredibly strong hero. Almost S tier. Yeah, he's good. You should pick him up. He's definitely a pack that will be very useful.
All right, we're down to our last 3.
Down to
Scarlet
3.
Witch?
3 more, yeah.
How many do you each only have 1 in the must buy to pick it up?
I have 1 of each left.
Okay.
All
right.
I have
Well,
1 of each left.
Okay. My card in Scarlet Witch is X-Bolt. I think this is an incredibly fun card. I love this type of card. I think it's in essence what her 15 card kit is about. It's a 2-cost event. Spell, superpower, hero action. Discard the top 3 cards of the encounter deck. For each card discarded this way, that has boost icons equal to a different number: 0, 1, 2, and 3. It does something different. So 0, it deals 2 damage to an enemy. 1, remove 2 threat from a scheme. 2, draw 1 card, and 3, plus place a status card on a character. Just chaotic fun.
It's not bad in her kit.
What'd you pick?
The best card in this pack is by far Wiccan. Wow, what a great ally. 2 for a 1/1/3, and then after he thwarts, you discard the top card of the encounter deck and deal damage equal to the boost icons on the discarded card. And it doesn't have to be to the enemy, it can be to a minion, which is really helpful. And you discard, I believe, before you choose the enemy.
I believe so too. So that's pretty cool.
Yep, he is super valuable character.
So I had Chaos Magic. It's in her 15 card kit. It's a hero action. Play a card from your hand, ignoring its resource cost. Discards from the top of the encounter deck until you discard cards from the top of the encounter deck equal to the card's printed cost. So you can play a 5-cost ally for just burning 5 cards of the encounter deck. And I think that's really unique and cool. The thing I don't like about Scarlet Witch is probably the same thing I didn't like about Doctor Strange that made me push Doctor Strange was that she's just so good. Like, and I find her turns to be very repetitive. When I play Scarlet Witch, basically, like you mentioned, Hexbolt. And what I do is I look into my hand, and if I have Hexbolt or Molecular Decay, I play that. And if I don't, I use all the other cards in my hand to draw more cards until I have Hexbolt in my hand, and then I play it again. And when you just play Hexbolt every turn, yeah, it's chaotic, but it's not like the interesting decision making isn't there for me. So
Okay, well you're wrong. This is
I have her as a
pick it up.
pass.
Nope.
Boo.
No, no, this is definitely a buy. Pick it up. Get her. Get her. You need to have. I mean, I don't have any other heroes that have justice. Spoiler. Because there's only 2, I think. And the 12. In the 12. Is that right? I think so.
She's got a little bit of justice.
No, she's Justice,
Oh.
Black Widow,
Yeah.
Justice.
That's it. Gamora has the 3. Yeah. You're gonna want some more justice cards. And because I put Black Widow as a pass, I think Scarlet Witch. And I think she's I disagree with you, Kennedy Hawk. I think she's really fun to play. And Turn the Tide's a fun justice card. I just said that out loud. Can we take that out?
No, it's standing there forever. What'd you have, Crimson?
Pass. I can't stand her. I can't
Thanks.
stand her play style.
Thanks. It feels good to be on the right side here together.
I hate.
You're gonna hate my last
about
2
this character. I'm sorry. I really wanted to like Scarlet Witch. I just do not like the discarding the encounter cards to get to those acceleration tokens. I do not think she's a good character. I'm sorry.
My problem is that she was trying to be risk reward, and like even though I'm discarding cards, especially in solo, I usually win before I get more than 1 acceleration token anyway. So like the risk never happens, and it's just reward and reward.
I don't even think her 15 cards are all that great. I do like Chaos Magic.
Spiritual Meditation's in there.
Yeah, nobody said that card because nobody wants to play Mystics, right?
Yeah, I don't think
they're both on my must buy.
Yeah, I know.
I don't think
typical. Protection needs all these heroes to help him out.
Oh, come on.
All right, Star-Lord. What do you guys have for Star-Lord?
Why don't you go, Crimson?
Hang on, because I'm on push to talk. It takes me a moment.
I can go.
Okay,
do it.
All right. I chose another one of his 15 cards. I chose Sliding Shot. I think this card is really fun. Again, I think this is the essence of what he wants to do. It's a 3-cost event. Play only if you control an element gun, hero action attack, deal 5 damage to an enemy, deal 2 additional damage to that enemy for each face down encounter card in front of you. Because you can play this for free and give yourself an encounter card. Doing that with his ability, that means that you're going to be dealing 7 damage for 0. And so if you already have some other encounter cards in front of you, this is how Star-Lord goes out in a blaze of glory. This is how he takes out the hero and dies so that the other heroes can win.
I'm glad you said that because my card was Blaze of Glory because that card is just bonkers amazing, especially with Star-Lord. It's a 2-cost leadership event, max 1 per round. Each Guardian character gets +2 thwart, +2 attack this phase. At the end of the phase, deal 1 damage to each Guardian. It's fun in so many ways, right? I mean, it's obviously good in Star-Lord because he makes all of your allies Guardians on his hero side, but then if you flip down, they all lose the Guardian trait if they didn't have it already. So you can avoid all of that damage. You can avoid all the negative side of Blaze of Glory just for letting the villain scheme. And +2/+2 to all of your allies is insane. If you have like 2 Guardians out and you're a Guardian, that's like 6 value for a 2-cost card. You can't beat that. I guess Repulsor Blast can beat that if you only run energy resources. But other than Iron Man, you can't beat that.
I guess Repulsor Blast actually can. Oh man, I'm gonna go play Iron Man tonight.
I choose Pulse Grenade. I like that it's a basic weapon card. It's also a restricted weapon card that can be used with a lot of cards that require weapons, but it can be played in any aspect. And it by itself, it's a good card. It's 2 for an upgrade weapon. Hero action, attack, discard the grenade and choose an enemy. Discard the top 2 cards of the encounter deck. Deal 1 damage to the chosen enemy for each boost card. Now, you do have to choose the enemy before you see the boost amount. So, unlike the other one, this one is a little bit more hit or miss. But because of the fact that it is a weapon that is basic and not restricted, I felt it needed to be showcased.
I've been loving that. I have one in Hawkeye just for mean swinging. So I imagine he's like firing his bow and then he's got a grenade in his pocket and he whips it out and just slaps people across the face. It's
Yeah,
like
instead of actually activating it, you just
mean swing.
hit
Mean
him
swing.
in the face.
All right.
Baseball.
I put Star-Lord in the pass.
What? Get out. How do I kick him from the server? Is there a button for that?
There's too many blue cards in this pack, and
they're all amazing.
I had to choose between Gamora and Star-Lord, and it just boiled down to which one I would rather play on a day on any given day, and it would be Star-Lord. I think he's fun. Someone had to go in the pass category.
I'm telling you, you haven't lived until you've played Blaze of Glory as Star-Lord and flipped down and then kills your play partner because they only had 1 life left and they were a Guardian. That's when you know you're in the good.
That is the most thematic thing that he would do.
I had Star-Lord in buy. I think everything in his card is great. If you want to have a Guardians deck, you can't do it without Star-Lord's pack. You need to have Star-Lord's pack from Nowhere to Cosmo to Blaze of Glory and Yondu. Like, there's just so many good cards in this pack that I couldn't pass it up. I wasn't wowed by the aerial cards in his pack, unfortunately. So, bummer.
The problem is nobody wants to play a Guardians deck, so I have him in the push. He is unique playstyle, and I felt he felt the best here. I am not a fan of him personally. I just don't get it. I don't like it. I'm just, it's not for me. But he's so unique that I think he's a character that you should pick up to see a different aspect of the game that you won't find in your core heroes. So he's definitely in the middle as a push.
We'll play a game where I play Star-Lord, and we'll see if I can change your mind.
Maybe.
All right, going on to Gamora. I had Plan of Attack as my card. It's an aggression card. 0 cost event. There's lots of reasons to like this, other than the mental resource. Action, search the top 4 cards of your deck, top 7 cards instead if you're in alter ego form for an attack event, and add that card to your hand, shuffle your deck. So this is pretty cool. It finally gives us like incentive to go to alter ego other than Hall of Heroes or your like usual 1 of 15 alter ego card in your kits. And it's really great. I mean, like I really, if you build with this in mind, you could make it so you're always going to hit an attack event, and it just adds consistency to your deck. I like it.
This one was a hard one for me to choose. So there are 2 extremely good cards in here as a Justice player. And one of them is definitely Impede, but I think the winner is going to be Pivotal Moment.
Gross.
I disagree with you, but I want to hear this reasoning.
Yeah. Give us your explanation so we can make fun of it.
So I've just started playing it because it is fairly new card. In the decks that I ran it with, which, you know, I'm a Justice player, it's 2 for 5 damage, like every time for me. And it's felt good to have a Justice card that can do some damage. Sometimes you're playing a hero that can't do a lot of damage. Now, a lot of times I'll be playing She-Hulk or Hulk, and they can do lots of damage. But somebody like Doctor Strange, you know, he's got
he can do tons of damage too. So
yeah,
next hero,
he has 1 invocation that does a ton of damage, and then he has his like magic bolt or whatever, his spell. This gives you a little extra damage in that Justice deck, and I think it's a great card. It's a card if you haven't tried playing it, try playing it. It might surprise you.
I did, and it was gross, and I went back into my binder. I think my problem is I'm playing Galaxy's Most Wanted villains, and there's never no threat on the main scheme. Maybe in solo, but once you have 2 players, you're just like you're constantly at threat states of 8 and almost dying. So I've just
Stop
a card that
playing
costs 2
Galaxy's
that does
Most-
2 damage. No thanks. I'd rather go play protection. I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
Just stop playing Galaxy's Most Wanted.
All
But
right, well,
I'm gonna beat it. No.
Seed or Impede is also a very strong card.
all right. Well, I won't say Plan of Attack because Kennedy Hawk already did. I think that's a really, really fun card. I will have to say First Hit, not because it's protection, but because I think it's the first card that gives us 2 different effects that you can trigger on 2 different in either the hero phase or the villain phase in this game. I think that's really fun. I think that I want to definitely see more of that in the future. Not too much, but it just makes it a little bit more versatile and I mean it doesn't do a ton, but it only costs 1 anyway.
That costs 1 hero action, deal 2 damage to the villain, or hero interrupt when a minion initiates an attack, deal 2 damage to that minion. So really cool. That was my runner-up. So
it's a good card.
Well, we done it. You guys want to hear the final results? So if we
hang on,
we haven't done it yet. That's right. I just know your answers because I filled them in. All right, go ahead and say them. Everyone's writing this down, obviously. So
yeah, she's a must buy. She's a pick it up. She's a 2/2/2 hero. If you're playing, especially if you're playing solo, she's so well balanced in that you can thwart a lot or attack a lot, and you still get the benefit of the other. So if you're attacking a lot, you still get the benefit of thwarting. Anyway, she's been so fun for me to play her kit. So there you go, and her deck building aspect of it to add those 6 off aspect attack or thwart events. I sometimes put in First Hit, sometimes momentum shift, and it's been fun because I usually play aggression with her.
Yeah, okay. So honestly, I do play aggression with her, and I add in thwarty cards, and the reason why is because there's a couple key aggression cards that are not attacks. So I definitely run aggression. She is a must buy. She is a high tier character, an extremely strong character, and very, very fun to play.
I had her as a push. She was my last cut from buy. I was down to 5, and I had to decide between her and Star-Lord. And the thing that gets me was her out of hero kit cards. Like Plan of Attack is really great, and First Hit is good. But Pivotal Moment, I doubt I'm ever going to play again. I'm not a big fan of there's Impede, it's remove 3 threat from the main scheme. If this is the first card you played, return it to your hand. Those bouncing cards have not gone off well for me. They've just been blunt.
I think Clobber's not as good as Impede.
I mean, Impede, if there's a crisis icon, it's just a dead card in your hand. Who cares if you can return it to your hand? You still can't play it. And it comes with Uppercut. That's the least efficient attack event ever in aggression, which is supposed to be good at attacking. So it makes me real sad.
That's a bummer that it did come with 2 copies of Uppercut.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Unless they errated it to be 7 damage, then I wouldn't feel so bad. But
she's still a go.
He's still a great hero. I had her as a push. She was my 5th buy. I feel bad about it, but it's okay. I feel like I rep Star-Lord. I'm happy.
Okay, what are the results?
All right, results. So if we gave every buy 2 points, every push 1 point, and every pass 0 points, here's our top selections as a team.
We have top 4, right?
Well, yeah, we can do the top 4. We'll read through them all, though. So with 5 points, we have Gamora, Doctor Strange, and Captain America. So congratulations to Crimson, who said to buy all 3 of those.
Yep.
And shame on me for not buying 2 of those. and shame on Amerikano for not buying Cap. And then with 4 points, we had Ant-Man, who was a buy and 2 pushes. So we're saying Ant-Man, Gamora, Captain America, and Doctor Strange, which I feel like would be a pretty well-rounded set of 4 if you had to pick 4 to add to the core set. Coming up after 4 with 3 points is Star-Lord, Quicksilver, and Black Widow. With 2 points is Scarlet Witch, Thor, and Miss Marvel. And coming in last place with 1 point only is Wasp and her friend Hulk. So there you have it. If we were to recommend you go buy 4 Marvel Champions packs to add to your core set, we're going to tell you Gamora, Doctor Strange, Captain America, and Ant-Man.
That's
Solid.
actually very close to my list.
It should be, right? You made up a third of the score. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean, other than Quicksilver and Ant-Man being swapped and Hulk and Scarlet Witch being swapped, it's pretty much spot on.
So in to honor, I guess, this hero buying guide, we're gonna have a giveaway for a Drax hero pack, so you don't have to buy Drax. I don't know what we're gonna do. What are we gonna do, Kennedy Hawk?
How do I
I
enter?
think if you want to win, what was that?
How do I enter?
Oh, if you want to win the Drax Hero Pack, you need to email us your favorite Drax meme at marvelchampionsmonthly@gmail.com, and we'll make it our cover image for when we do our Drax Hero Pack review. So find your Drax memes, get them to us by the 2nd, July 2nd. And we'll put the details for this in the show notes below. So you've got roughly 2 weeks, depending on how long it takes me to edit this, and you could win a Drax pack courtesy of Amerikano.
Hey, and you only have to do
Right.
language a couple times.
See? Exactly. All right. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.